Hello everyone. Today I'm going to walk you through how to build a model about mortgage calculations on Excel. So this model aims to show you how to calculate your monthly payments and your ending balances for a given mortgage amount and mortgage term based on a certain monthly or annual rate. So let me walk you through this. So first of all, we have on the left we have here the months, the 360 months, and basically this model is calculating a 30-year mortgage, so that's why we have 360 months, but you can do it as many months as you would like. So you can just get rid of some of the months if you're doing a 20-year or 10-year calculation. And for the purpose of this model, I grouped the cells in between. As you can see here, I grouped cells between 7th month and 354th month just because I wanted to show you the end of the model and the beginning of the model. So as you can see, I can open up and all those months will show up here in between, and I will just group them again so that we have a summary version of the model. At the top, we have the basics here, the home value, so the price of the house. I put it down as 500,000 to begin with. Down payment percentage as 20%. Down payment value as 100,000, so it's basically 20% times 500,000. So that gives us the financed amount, which is 500,000 minus 100,000, which equals to 400,000 here. There's gonna be some closing costs and things like that, so you can just factor that into your home value if you want to finance those charges as well. But this is just a basic model to show you how much roughly payments you will need to make in order to finish your balance within 30 years. So in this case, I took a monthly rate of 0.30%, and this gives me an annualized rate of 3.66%. So this is just an input number. The monthly rate is the input number, and the annual rate is the calculated number. So I'm just using a formula: 1 times 1 plus the monthly rate to the power of 12 minus 1, and that gives me the compounded annual rate of the result of the monthly rate. So let me show you how I also built the model, and then I will show you how to how to use Solver on Excel to come up with the right monthly payment amount. So for the first month, I basically just take the starting balance to equal the financed amount, so which is equal to C4. Just took down to 400,000. Since I will be making my monthly payment at the end of the month, I will accrue some interest in the first month, which is calculated here. So off of the 400,000 that I financed, I will be incurring a monthly interest charge of 0.30%, which is at just basically 400,000 times 0.30%, which will accrue an interest of $1,200. So my total balance at the end of the month will be $401,200. And in this case, I calculated payment before, but I will make the numbers change so that I can show you how to use Solver. So the payment in this case would be $1,819, and my ending balance will be $399,000 and $381, sorry, $399,381. And that number will be the starting balance for the next month. So as you can see, this equals F9, which is the ending balance of the first month, and this goes on and on like that. So this equals F9, F10, F11. So I'm showing you this because I want you to build your own model as well. And accrued interest formula is always the same. You just multiply the starting balance with the monthly rate. And I use dollar signs to make sure that when I take the formula down, so I add dollar signs here before F and 2 So that makes sure that when I take this down, when I copy this formula, that monthly rate cell doesn't change, so it's always F2. That's a small Excel trick you can use. So on the second month, I do the same calculation for total balance. It's always the same: B9 plus C9, B10 plus C10, etc. And the payment will be just basically the first one will be some number that is gonna be the result of the solver, and the second month and onward it will just be equal to the month before. So as you can see, equals to E9, E10, E11, and it goes on and on. And ending balance is basically what you had total balance minus the payment. So there you go, D11 minus E11, D12 minus E12, and etc. So how now we can use solver? So right now I solved this model already, so that's why I want to change the numbers so that I can solve it again to show you how we can use solver to come up with the monthly payment. So let's make the home value to go up to 700,000. Let's change the down payment to 25%. So as you can see, we have a down payment value of 175,000, and we have to finance 525,000. And let's switch our monthly rate to 0.20%, so our annualized rate would be 2.43%. So in this case, let's see how much monthly payment we need to make in order to finish our balance at the end of 30 years. So for this, we go to tools, and your Excel version may be different. So, but usually solver would be put under the tools selection. So under tools, you can click solver, and just it'll bring up the solver table, solver parameters. So in this one, we will have to set target cell F368. You can select like this. You can just click this and it'll select F368, which is basically the ending balance of the last month. So you go all the way down to 360th month, and now you just click that as your set target cell. We want this to equal to the value of 0. So we want this to be going to 0 because we want to pay off our mortgage along with its interest accrual at the end of the 30-year period. By the way, if you build this model to include only 20 years, you will have to choose the 240th month as your target cell, obviously. So we set our target cell to equal to the value of 0. And the last one is by changing cells, E9. I selected this before, so let's do it again. So we go here and we select E9. Why do we change E9 only? Because all other monthly payments are actually connected to this, so they're all equal to this cell. So once we make the change to the E9, all of them will change, and solver will factor that into its calculation. So we will only need to change one cell, which is E9 here. We selected that, and all we have to do is to just solve. Click solve, and there you go. We say keep solver solution. We hit OK, and there you go. There's your monthly payment. It's $2,047. If you pay $2,047 for 360 months, you will end up paying all of your balance plus the accrued interest. And how much interest you ended up paying, you can just select all this area, and then just I think we have to ungroup the cells to see that. So let's ungroup the cells that we hid here before. And if we add up all the accrued interest column here, all the way down to 360th month, we can see that we ended up paying, we can see at the bottom of the Excel table. You cannot see it right now because I didn't show it on the video, but let's just make some formula here and then just select select C9. Okay, here, there you go. So we will end up paying $211,989 of interest for this mortgage. So if you want to know this separately, you can use this. You use just the sum function to come up with that number. And your balance, as you can see, will go all the way to zero as a result of your payments of $2,047 a month. How this can change if the monthly rate goes up to 0.30%. So let's make the change 0.30. So the annual rate went up to 3.66%. So in this case, the ending balance is not zero anymore. So you have to run the solver again. So let's run the solver again. Tools, solver, and target cell is the same, equal to 0, and by changing cells E9, so everything else is, you can leave it as is. You can just click solve, and there you have it. Okay, so now your payment goes up to $2,387 a month, and your accrued total interest that you paid would be $334,280. So that's about it. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments section. Thank you.